watch, talk, click, let's go. Be entertained with Flow. Watch movies together. Flow Cable TV. This Christmas, call your family with Flow Phone.
Best prices around.
They got the fastest broadband for your home.
And business too.
Come flow with us this Christmas.
Flow with us this Christmas and win big. Sign up for any Flow service for your chance to win fantastic weekly prizes and a grand prize of the ultimate entertainment center. Plus, get free installation and a free token when you sign up for 2 or more Flow services while stocks last. Customers who pay their bill in full by the due date will also be eligible for the grand prize. Promotion ends December 24th. See press for details.
And you will see a very special Christmas. It will be. Flow, watch, talk, click.
This is CC6 News Night Week in Review for December 17th to December 20th, 2012. It was the week in which judgment was handed down in a matter of an expelled member against the ruling party. Attention was drawn to the problem of violence at the Richmond Hill prison. A call was made for lifting of the ban on sea eggs. A bus operator complained that illegal activities in the terminus are not being addressed by the authorities. In sports, Wester Hall League Oneers dominate schools basketball competition. Details when we return.
Unlimited talk, $75. Talk unlimited to over 50 destinations. Unlimited talk to all local landlines. Landline to mobile, 45 cents. Sign up now.
Watch, talk, click.
Superior one-on-one customer service. Phenomenal products customized to your individual style and need. Fast and efficient service are all attributes that have made St. Louis the leading manufacturers of windows and doors for over 30 years in St. Lucia. And we are now pleased to extend our services to you. Try our new single-hung windows, which can be tilted for easy cleaning. Our famous casement windows, which locks with keys for added security. Our gliders, projected aluminum and heavy sliding windows, sliding and commercial doors, commercial shop fronts, and more. Visit us today, building number 19 Frequente Industrial Park, St. George's, or call us at 439-6538.
At Scotiabank, we offer a number of borrowing solutions to make home ownership work for you. It all starts with a conversation. For the right mortgage advice, come in and talk to us. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Thanks for joining us. I am Samantha Williams. Former Minister of Foreign Affairs Honorable Carl Hood says he feels vindicated following the judgment coming from a lawsuit filed recently against some members of the ruling National Democratic Congress.
The High Court on Thursday handed down judgment in the matter brought by Honorable Carl Hood against Prime Minister Honorable Tillman Thomas and other executive members of the National Democratic Congress. Hood, who is Member of Parliament for St. George South East, had brought 2 matters before the court against the party. He was contesting his expulsion from the party at the September 30th convention and his exclusion from the process of selecting a caretaker for the constituency. The court has agreed to hear the matter of his expulsion, but denied the injunction which would prevent the NDC from installing a caretaker for the constituency. Counsel for the National Democratic Congress is Claudette Joseph.
The court has issued a victory for the party in that regard, because that was the main issue. The other thing was ancillary, and I did point out to the court during the course of argument that our main thrust was Mr. Hood's challenge to the nomination and selection of Randall and his ludicrous claim that he still wants to run for the NDC. And thankfully the court agreed with us in that regard, and so the party is now free to move on with its life with Randall as its candidate for St. George Southeast.
Mr. Hood says the possibility of appealing the case is something that could be under consideration.
If I read the judgment carefully, what the judge was saying that membership is not equivalent to entitlement to participate in an election. And in a sense, I understand what she's saying. I think what she left out really is that being an incumbent one sort of, there's a degree of expectation. And so I will sit and talk with my counsel, and we take it from there.
Randall Robinson last September won the support of the constituency branch to become the caretaker, and Mr. Hood says his support to Mr. Robinson is to be considered.
Mr. Robinson has been going around the constituency and blaming everything on me, all right? The hole in the road he's saying because I was a bad representative, right? I mean, it's, you don't sit on the river Stone and call the river bad, right? Right now they're doing work in Confer. The thing that I've been begging for 4 years is being done now, right? Now, you got to ask yourself why, right? Now, should I give Mr. Robinson my support based upon what he has been doing? Put yourself in my place and answer the question yourself.
The claim, which was granted in favor of Mr. Hood, was that he continue as a member of the NDC on condition that he gives an undertaking to pay damages to the party if at the end of the trial the court finds that his expulsion was valid and the party suffered loss. Ms. Joseph expects that the trial will begin in about 8 months to a year. Karima Lewis, CC6 Newsnight.
Attention is being sought to bring under control what is seen as a potentially deadly situation at the Richmond Hill prison, as reports creep out that some inmates are facing mortal danger due to the violent behaviors of gangs that are locked away behind the walls of the institution.
CC6 Newsnight has learned from highly placed and confidential sources that a man on remand at the Richmond Hill prison is very fearful for his life due to a present unrest among inmates that can lead to prison uproar if the Commissioner of Prisons don't take responsibility and seek the necessary assistance to deal with the issue. On Friday, CC6 Newsnight received word via telephone about the present situation at the prison.
For the past 6 weeks every day, everybody targeting sort of prisoners because they're trying to everybody want drugs to phone and things, them is the one of these things and like giving them what and work on food. Yes, no, women get injured and everything, you know. Yes, women get injured and everything, that they have weapons and everything, knives and other things,
Our source reveals that rival gang members are part of the problems.
Yeah, very much. And a lot of that prisoners is very tense now. Okay.
Another major issue that affects conditions at the institution is the overcrowding and the fact that prison officers also fear the inmates.
The overcrowding now is almost 500. We should be about 200, and about 500 now. You must gangs, gangs, and get rectification if you have any junior ones, like junior ones, very frank. Maybe even though this one, those side, those violence, very much. You might try to side to it, but then they would rectify it.
A call was made to Commissioner of Prisons Don McKenzie on Monday for a comment on the issue, but he said he cannot confirm that the information provided to CC6 Newsnight is correct. Sherry Ann Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
A well-known delicacy that Grenadians and tourists alike enjoyed in the past has been on the no-hunting list for well over 15 years. But a marine official says the little creatures are overpopulating the ocean, and this is affecting other marine life as well.
Ambassador for Maritime Affairs Anselm Clouden is in talks with the Ministry of Agriculture Fisheries Division to have the ban on sea urchins lifted to reduce the current population. Mr. Clouden, who was speaking with CC6 Newsnight on Wednesday, says as a result of the ban there is now an overpopulation of the urchins, locally known as sea eggs. He says the model used in St. Lucia should be followed as it allows moderate harvesting of the sea eggs.
Famous industry in Marquis and Soubise in particular, where they roasted the sea eggs, and the tourists enjoyed it. They would come there and they would buy just as much as they can consume and take with them. So it was a viable cottage industry that had grown up over the years. What had happened, however, is that normal aspect of greed. Some people use tanks and they just harvest and over-harvest. and as a result, it depleted the stock.
The ban was placed on CX in 1995 due to overfishing, which was rapidly reducing their numbers. But Mr. Clouden says this can now be lifted to revive that business.
The stock has replenished itself, and it is now overpopulated, so that what we can do is lift the ban and allow moderate exploitation. That is going to restart the cottage industry, because predominantly this industry is germane to the rural areas of Marquis and Soubise. And Grenadians would tell you, in the old days, I mean, this was quite a delicious and a rare dish.
The urchins are now covering the seabed, he says, and this is affecting other marine life.
It affects the zooplankton and phytoplankton. That's the ingredients on which fish feed, because if they cover the entire seabed, then the plankton can't breathe, so it suffocates it. And if you see a lot of the juvenile fish feed on the zooplankton and the phytoplankton.
Karima Lewis, CC6 Newsnight.
When we return, permission granted for gravel and concrete to carry out sand mining in selected areas.
Only one dishwashing liquid can do the job. Quicks is the expert in taking out the toughest grease easily. You know you can trust it. Quicks cuts grease better, full stop.
GTM wishes to advise its customers of its new toll-free office and fax numbers for our local offices. You can contact us at 800-4GTM. That is 800-4486. Alternatively, we can be contacted on telephone numbers 232-2351, 232-6456 or 232-0920.
GTM, solid, reliable. Digicel makes you smile. Free SMS, free international and local. Free magic number calls, extra credit when you top up 10 or more, and get rewarded for your top up. Digicel gives you more to keep you smiling. Get free SMS when you top up with $10. Magic number calls when you top up with $15. Free international once you top up with $20. Free local calls to all Digicel numbers. Extra credit for $30 or more. You get more. 10% bonus credit to do anything you want. Digicel makes you smile. Digicel, the bigger, better network.
Welcome back. 1 week before Christmas, a St. George family had to be counting its blessing after escaping serious physical injuries in an incident when a cement truck crashed through their home.
At around midday on Wednesday, a middle-aged man was taken to the General Hospital complaining of severe headache and possibly a broken foot after the cement truck he was driving crashed through a home in Mount Panassa, St. George. The truck was traveling down a hill from a construction site in the village known as Coconut when eyewitnesses say he lost control of the heavy-duty vehicle, narrowly missing a car coming from the opposite direction and crashed through a side wall of the home. It came to a stop in the yard of the church next door. Emerald Charles, who lives in the home, witnessed the accident.
I saw the truck up there, right, watching him. He was kind of moving. When I saw him moving out, like he was going to go out of control, right? And she was in the car, she was watching in the truck. So I was trying to tell her, Mom, swinging inside here. I told her swinging inside there, the truck came down, and when he reached there, she couldn't move. So she parked there, so I started screaming and told her, Mom, move from there quickly, the truck is going to hit you. He came down and he moved and he came down this direction. And I thought he hit the coconut tree. I started screaming and the kid was inside there. And while the kid was inside there, she saw the light, she told me, and when I was screaming, she jumped out. And he hit here and he moved down this direction.
The lone occupant of the room at the time of the accident was a 15-year-old secondary school student, suitably named Miracle.
I hear everybody screaming, all kind of thing. I was sitting on the phone, and then I see like sunlight, and see something close. I run outside, and then I see the man, everybody there, and they say he head hurt, all kind of thing, and he gone to hospital, and that was it. I still shocked. I was afraid. I still afraid.
And how many people are occupants of the room?
Me and my sister.
Miracle's mother, Marilyn Ford, says her parents have lived in the house for over 50 years, and just over the weekend, she repainted the outside walls ahead of the Christmas holidays.
I heard the noise, and I come from behind the church building. I come that way, and I heard the noise coming from the truck in a speedway, and it was just like so fast. The truck just come whoosh, and I thought my brother get laid down, but my brother have run inside here and trying to tell the woman to move her vehicle, but she get panic and she couldn't move. So I ran to scream for my next daughter, where is Faith, where is Faith? And when I come out, I saw my next daughter was happy, and I realized the other one, she come out from there. She was sitting on the bed talking on the phone, and she only catch herself when the piece of building just went straight down. She catch herself and she get out, and I really thank God for that because she's alive today, my both children, Miracle and Faith. It's quite a lot, the bed and a lot of things like computers, monitors and stuff like that damaged. It will take quite a amount of money to get back everything.
Up to news time, the name and condition of the truck driver was not known.
A bus operator at the St. George's bus terminus is calling on the authorities to look into what he claims are illegal activities taking place in their work environment.
Busmen operating in the St. George's bus terminus are making a public cry to send a message to the management of the Grenada Ports Authority, which operates the facility, and the Royal Grenada Police Force. The bus operators are alleging that a group of young men who have occupied a certain area of the terminus are posing a serious problem to them based on the activities they are involved in. One of the bus operators, for fear of confrontation, spoke with CC6 Newsnight without appearing on camera.
These guys and them now, they control the back there, the police and them. To me, they're afraid to go in the back there and get rid of them. They are concentrating on the busmen, fighting to make $1. Everything that the busman do, they give us a ticket. But these guys and them, they're in the back there, they are the one they have to attack. Because they have the knife, they have the weapon. But they're not, they afraid them, like so do we.
The bus operator says it is unfair for them who have to pay a fee every time they enter the terminus when the area is not safe.
They're fighting, they're breaking the glass, busman windscreen, side glass, and we are not safe. No, we are not safe. So then why we have to pay the $150 to come inside here and we are not safe? I don't understand. I would like to understand why we paying the $150 and we don't have security, we are not safe. They own what they own. They sell what they have to sell.
On behalf of the bus operators, he says the management of the authority needs to take action.
The Port Authority have to put things in place to get these guys out from behind there because, they're fighting. They are gangs and they're fighting. Guys coming and pell bottle, pell stone, breaking glass, and nobody know who do it. And we have to end up being the victim and the loser. Nobody look after us. No insurance, nothing. So what could we do?
Efforts were made to reach the management of the bus terminus but were not successful. As manager at the terminus says he's not allowed to speak with the media, and the public relations officer of the terminus says he would speak with the manager and get back to the news team. Up to news time, CC6 Newsnight did not get any reply from the port's PRO, and calls to his office went unanswered. Sherry Ann Noel, CC6 Newsnight.
As the Ministry of Works faces challenges in maintaining the drains and canals which are filled with sand around the country, Gravel and Concrete has been given the green light to remove the substance and find buyers who are able to use it.
Cabinet has granted permission to Gravel and Concrete and Emulsion Production Corporation to remove sand from canals, drains and other areas where the buildup of sand has created challenges for property security or environmental concerns. This was revealed in a media release from the corporation on Monday. Gravel and Concrete, which has been reeling under the economic pressure of importing sand, had sought permission from government to remove the excessive sand from certain areas and were awaiting a reply. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Javon Williams, in an interview with CC6 Newsnight on Tuesday, says the Ministry of Works is responsible for cleaning storm drains around the country, but has been unable to carry out the function due to lack of resources.
When we remove the sand, it is piled up in an area close by because, of the enforcement on sand mining. And what would happen when you have surges is that the sand goes back to the same area. So it has been becoming very difficult. So Gravel and Concrete had put a request to government to maintain these areas, right, with the agreement that they can use the sand for minor operations.
Mr. Williams says the sand can be sold to the general public, but the news release from Gravel and Concrete cautions that it should only be used for plastering and block making due to the high salt content, which is corrosive on steel.
Quite possibly they can sell some of that sand, but it has to be done with proper receipt and so on. So persons who are going to be found with bit sand can verify the way they obtain it. They can use it for the construction purposes as making blocks, whatever they might see it fit. The government is benefiting there because we don't have to pay to remove it and maintain the area. That responsibility has fallen on the hands of Gravel and Concrete.
Since the ban was placed on sand mining in 2009, Mr. Williams says the ministry has had good cooperation from the Royal Grenada Police Force.
There are some persons who find novel ways of trying to claim that they have rights to sand. For example, persons who have lands close to the sea coast might want to say that the sand was washed up by Hurricane Ivan or some kind of thing, so they are removing it. So we are trying to stay in touch with the police and some of those persons to try to show them, look, what is illegal should be avoided. So then we have good cooperation over there.
He's asking people to be cautious with the use of beach sand as it may not serve the intended purpose.
Purchase the sand from the right person or the imported sand and avoid going into purchase of illegal sand because they are at a disadvantage. The truckers are the one making the profit. They are disguising the prices and create the belief that they are selling the sand for you much cheaper. So they are stealing the sand and they are the one making the profit. And you are the one that can lose out holistically because if the police come to your site, they can remove sand from your premise. So you might purchase this sand and lose, or you might use it to construct, and at the end of the day, your home is not long-lasting as you might expect.
Gravel and Concrete has been granted permission to remove the excess sand from the security border fencing at the airport, Mount Rodney Bay Canal, St. Patrick, Bushery Canal, St. Patrick, Sutters Bay Lagoon, St. Patrick, and Bathway Lagoon, St. Patrick. Mr. Williams says that this will also prevent the possible spread of diseases caused by mosquito. Karima Lewis, CC6 Newsnight.
Coming up in sports, Spice Isle Billfish Committee conducts economic assessment of a popular tournament.
Breeze removes stains in the first wash. The other detergents, not always. You have to wash it all again and use twice the amount. So, which one costs more? Do the math. Choose Breeze. Unbeatable stain removal.
Cool me down. Nothing can hard in my country. So I open a bakery. Hey, yes.
Hey, in order that I should marry.
When did you jump, soca? Friendliest people you'll ever meet. Wise man with black stone beside him.
Live on Community Channel 6 every Saturday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's Sound System Saturday.
Hello, I'm Chef Didier and welcome to Meals in a Minute, brought to you by the Baron Gourmet Collection.
Today, we join Chef Didier on a culinary trip to China for a delicious sweet and sour chicken stir-fry.
We start by simply branding a chicken breast in a hot pan with a little bit of oil. Add a little more oil to the pan and stir-fry your fresh vegetables until barely tender. Then add a jar of sweet and sour sauce from the Baron Gourmet Collection with some fresh noodles and toss it until nice and hot. And now you are ready to enjoy your sweet and sour stir fry.
We hope we can inspire your next meal in minutes with the Baron Gourmet Collection. Baron, we make food tasty.
Welcome back. Officials of the Spice Island Billfish Committee have conducted an economic impact evaluation on the popular annual Budget Marine Spice Island Billfish Tournament.
Officials of the Spice Island Billfish Committee have conducted an economic impact evaluation on the popular annual Budget Marine Spice Island Billfish Tournament. The prestigious event, which is scheduled to commence in January 2013, has attracted more than 52 boats from nearby islands such as Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, St. Lucia and Martinique, as well as anglers from across the world. Dr. Spencer Thomas is one member of the team that conducted the assessment.
So we looked at the size, not only in terms of the sheer size of the tournament, but also in size in which relation to the economy. We looked at the quality of the tournament, and we had some very difficult questions to Mr. McIntyre and his team. We were very, very happy to look at to notice the environmental sensitivity of the project, which I thought got a very high mark in terms of our rating of the project. We have not completed the analysis to date, but what we found out, some of the key areas of the project and the SIBT, important areas are the areas of its quality in terms of its record on safety and its security concerns, its consistency with the macroeconomic policies of the country and the tourism policy. If we look at the tourism master plan and also the strategic plan for tourism.
Also involved in the process is Leon Charles.
And as we look at expanding our tourism into non-traditional sectors, it in fact presents an opportunity which has not yet been taken up by the Grenada government. We have quantified, for example, the impact of sports fishing in places like Mexico and so on. And within that context, what this tournament does is provide an entry point for getting into sports fishing as a tourism activity, so that people will come during the year, not to take part in a tournament itself, but just to enjoy the sports fishing which Grenada has.
The 44th annual Budget Marine Spice Island Billfish Tournament takes place January 23rd to 26th, 2013.
The Iguanas of Westerhall Secondary School are champions of the GTM Insurance Secondary School Basketball Tournament.
Westerhall Secondary School are champions of the GTM Insurance Secondary School Basketball Tournament. Westerhall Secondary beat St. John's Christian Secondary to grab the title 80-52 in the final at the Caranage Sporting Complex on Tuesday. Teacher at the St. David Base School, Kevin Hagley, says they worked hard for the win.
From the get-go, we really tried to put a holistic team together. We would have been practicing very hard. We have a really dynamic set of players at Westerhall. And the victory here today is not something that we were worried about. It was just a matter of time. Not sounding cocky, but we really tried to put measures in place to ensure that we win today. I won't deny that some of the athletes that we have from other schools did contribute. But if we went back to last year, we were in the semi-finals last year, and it came down to a matter of one call that could have brought us in the finals. So to say that we needed necessarily to be here, I can't say that. I'm not saying that they didn't contribute, but we have a good team. With them and without them, we still have a good team.
He says they will begin their training very early next year to ensure they hold on to the title.
Coach of St. John's Christian Secondary is Nigel Nimrod.
I guess while the game started going around, some of the guys, the main players, they got carried away in the game. They got in foul trouble early, and that kind of make us lose the whole momentum. I mean, we was down 1 point at a point in time, and we was going very good. And since one of our key players, Akim, one of our key players, he stepped out, the game changed to their momentum and everything just. But it was a good game. It was an exciting game. We got to do more training, a lot of more training, and we got to stay focused. We got to stay a lot of focus. Basketball is a thing that once you lose your focus, you sidetrack, everything just go back to where you start, like square one. So you got to keep your focus. We got to continue training. And we got to go from there.
That's all we have for you in Sports on 6. A recap of the headlines is next.
Still struggling to stream content? Get Flow Broadband. With the most affordable rates on the fastest speeds around, you click and stream all the content you want smoother than ever.
Flow, watch, talk, click.
Recapping the headlines, it was the week in which judgment was handed down in a matter of an expelled member against the ruling party. Attention was drawn to the problem of violence at the Richmond Hill prison. A call was made for lifting of ban on sea eggs. A bus operator complained that illegal activities in the terminus are not being addressed by the authorities. And in sports, Westerhall Iguanas dominate schools basketball competition. That brings us to the end of CC6 Newsnight Weekend Review for December 17th to December 20th, 2012. Top stories from CC6 Newsnight can also be seen on our Facebook page, Flow Community Channel 6. On behalf of the news team, I'm Samantha Williams. Season's greetings.